Hi guys, the next figure we're going to be doing is Legolas. So for Legolas we're going to be doing a green tunic, brown strapping again. His face is quite exposed, so we can do a bit more detail to this face. He's going to have a grey leggings, brown boots, grey undershirt, and then we've got the arrows and his bow and stuff to pick out on the back there. So we'll start off by doing the green, and we're going to make it quite a lighter green, this one. So we're actually the first colour we're going to use for this is going to be Narlock green, rather than going in with the orc hide shade. We're actually going to use quite a light green for this colour, for this part of Legolas, and we're just going to go in and just give it a really good base coat of the green. Some of these videos are taking quite a while. I initially wanted to film the whole process, and I've been looking at some software which maybe would be better than what I'm using at the moment, so I can actually maybe speed the video up and just do the general talking over the top of it, just so these videos aren't lasting for almost an hour at times. And me trying to waffle on and hold your have your attention for almost an hour is quite difficult at times, and it saves me repeating myself as well. So we're just going to go in and do the green on the outer shirt. It doesn't matter if we go over any of the strapping that's there at the moment, because we will go over that in a little while. We'll pick the strapping out, but once again it's just making sure you've got good even coverage with your paint, and if you have to do 2 or 3 layers, again do 2 or 3 layers. I'm hoping you'll be able to pick some of this up on the camera. It's not the best camera, it's mainly a stills camera that's got video on it. If you guys tend to like these tutorials I'm doing, then I'll think about investing in a better camera for you. I hope you're picking all this up, guys. If you are actually doing any of your own figures like this, I'd love to see them. Or if you're just watching the videos, please leave comments. I love getting your comments, as we all do. So that's that green done. We're now going to go in to do the grey. I want Legolas to be quite light compared to the rest of the figures. So we're going to use Fortress Grey. There we are. And we're going to do his trousers and all his undergarments in Fortress Grey. I've had a couple of comments asking me how putting my paints into dropper bottles is working out. Well, so far it's not too bad. I've had some issues where I wanted the paint to be a bit thicker at times, so I've just let it dry out a bit in the palette before I used it. But on the whole, it works quite well. So just picking these little bits out now around his undershirts that he has. Not sure what you'd call them. But trying to get as good a coverage as possible. Trying not to go over the green if you can help it. A steady hand always helps in these situations. So just pick out the bits around his legs here. And all you're really looking for on your base coats is just a good even coverage to start from. So it's just one more part of his shirt to do. His undershirt, which is this part here, just under his arm. I'm going to give him blonde hair as well. So just going from some of the tips that people have put on YouTube, I'm trying to incorporate a few of those into this project as well. And one of them was painting blonde hair. I think that's what this community is all about, is sharing ideas, sharing techniques. So there you go, guys. That's the grey now done. Let the paint dry with that and see if we need any more at a later stage. Right, I'm going to do his boots brown, trying to give him that sort of wood elf look. I'm sure he's a wood elf. Is that what they call them in Lord of the Rings? I can't remember. I know they've got the high elves. I'm going to my gaming club tonight, so I'll hopefully find out there. They're running some tutorial demo games on the new Hobbit. So I'm hoping to join in with a couple of those. Maybe get a game of 40k as well. They're a nice bunch of lads. I quite like going there and make you feel really welcome, especially if you're new to the hobby as well, or if you're new to the gaming side of it like me. But yeah, they're a good bunch. All seem to help each other out, which is another thing, which is what I liked. So there we go, just doing the strapping on his garments there. And at this stage you're not trying to be too neat with it, just pick out what you can, and if you need to you can go back over it when you do the detail part. So all we're doing now is just picking out the real base colours. And I made a mistake there, I don't know if you can see that, guys, but just gone over the green with the brown there, so we'll have to go and fix that as well. Just put some brown in there for that, and we'll give him some brown bits around the bottom there, make it look a bit like leather around the bottom of it. So we're just picking out those little bits, the strapping and parts of his armour which you think is going to be brown. I think that's that, because we're going to do the bow slightly different as well. His hair is going to be slightly different, so we'll leave those for the minute. That's enough of the brown. The next thing we're going to do, guys, is we're going to give him some talon flesh, but we're going to mix it with a bit of white. He's an elf. I think he's going to be a bit darker in tone. Lighter in tone. So his actual skin is going to be slightly lighter. So we just take some of that, some of the talon flesh, and just mix that slightly lighter, almost like the highlights we would do on the other figures. We're actually using that as a base coat for this one. So there we go, and we go with that. Just get down into there, right by his collar, under his chin, very lightly over his face. Pick out his ears. He's an elf, he's going to have pointy ears. We'll just go back into that, guys. And when this is done, we'll put some we'll still use Griffin Sepia as the wash part of this when that's dry. Just go into his ear a bit there, and as you can see, he's already got a lighter complexion, almost white skin he'll have when he's completed. Just going over, making sure we've got some good coverage on that. We also, while we're here, we need to just add a touch of water to this paint, keep it thin. We're just going to do his fingers over the bow. Just the back of his hands there. the last bit is his hand up the top here. Just picking out an arrow from his quiver, ready for all these orcs that are going to be charging him. Goblins, I should say. So there we have it. That's that part done, guys. So I'll let that dry completely. The next stage for this is the washes. We're just going to put a wash over him, and we'll come back. Thanks a lot, guys. Okay guys, so that's Legolas now done with his black wash. Gone over all the undercoats that we did. Griffin sepia over his hair, his face and the bow. Now what we're going to do is we're going to start bringing the figure back up, leaving all the shading in. And for that I'm going to go back first off over the green with Gnarlok green. Then I'm going to use the old Citadel Scaly green to go over that, just to bring out the highlights and the extreme highlights. I'm going to use the old Games Workshop Jade paint. For the grey I'm going to use Fortress Grey again, just to bring it up, and then I'm going to mix a little tiny bit of white into the Fortress Grey just to do the extreme highlights on the figure. For the face, it's back in with the Talon Flesh, and what we'll do is mix that with white to bring the extreme highlights out on the face as well. The hair is probably just going to be highlighted with some white. Okay guys, I'll get on with that, do that. When that's done I'll come back. Okay guys, I've gone a bit further than I intended when I've nearly finished the Legolas figure now. Just got to base him, but I've highlighted the green. I went with Gnarlok green, leaving the black wash in the recesses. I then went over with Scaly green. Then I went over with the old Citadel paint Jade, just to pick out the very highlights of the green. I also did Fortress Grey over the grey undergarments, and Khemri brown over the scorched brown, Rhinox hide parts of his gauntlets. Did his skin, went back in with the Talon Flesh and white mixture that I mixed for the original base coat. Griffin sepia wash obviously, and then it was back in with a touch more white into the Talon Flesh mix, just to bring out the extreme highlights on his face. I hope you can see that. Then I did a couple of white dots in his eyes and a couple of black dots onto that. Highlighted all the brown with Khemri brown. His bow I've done with Screaming Skull and Screaming Skull white mix to highlight. I've done his quiver on the back with Khemri brown, and then sorry, getting my words mixed up here. Then I put a black wash over that, and then highlighted that with Khemri brown and a little bit of Ushbati bone mixed into that to highlight. I found there was some more hair around the arrows, so I've redone the hair exactly the same way as we did before, and the arrowheads I've given them a red on the feathers. So that's basically it, guys. Just got to base him up now. When he's based and finished, I will show you what he looks like. The basing is going to be exactly the same as we've done for Gandalf and Boromir. a little bit different to the Gimli one. So when that's done, I'll come back to you. Thanks guys. So there's Legolas all done now. The base is all dry, completely dry. So what we're going to do now is just go over, as we've done with all our other bases so far in this project, and just give it a liberal coat of the charred and granite. When that's dry, we'll then highlight with Zandri dust. Then we'll make a mix of Zandri dust and Ushbati bone, and then do a final highlight of Ushbati bone. A little dry brush of that, and that will mix in and match all the other bases that we've done. So once again, all we're looking for is to cover all these rocks and bits of rubble and all the sand with this charred and granite, and then when that's dry, it's just a matter of dry brushing the Zandri dust over the top. Okay guys, I'll go and do that. I'll do all the other dry brushing as well, because we've seen that in previous videos, and I'll see you when he's finished. Thanks a lot guys. Hi guys, that's Legolas now done. Excuse me, still got a bit of this cold here, but yeah, that's Legolas now done. He's had his base covered with charred and granite, black wash over that, then dry brush with Zandri dust and Ushbati brown mixed, and then Ushbati bone and white mixed for the final highlight, and I've just tidied up around the base with black. So that's Legolas now done. So this is now part 6 complete, another 5 to do. So I'll just bring the base in, as I always do at the end when I finish these figures, and we'll put Legolas into his position, just so you can see the figures that we've done so far. So we've got Gandalf, Boromir, Gimli and Legolas. The next thing I'm going to do, I think we'll start on the hobbits at the back. So that's that guys. Thanks for watching. Hope you're still enjoying this, staying with me, and I'll see you in the next one.